Hey 302, I'm Jackie Ferris. This week we're at the iconic Hotel DuPont to answer that question everybody's asking: what's going to happen to the green room? It's not easy being green, but it's certainly going to be glamorous and delicious. The 302 is headed your way. Hey 302, some people call it the front door, some people call it the heartbeat. Whatever you call it, many people love the Hotel DuPont and the green room, and we're going to talk about its history, its past, its present, and its future. I'm joined now by Joseph Bojanowski, who is the president of the PM Hotel Group. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So let's talk a little bit, first of all, about where we've been with the Hotel DuPont. Everybody loves it. It's gorgeous, the architecture, the design. It's been around for over 100 years.
It has. It's got a very storied past, with construction beginning in 1911. The DuPont family decided that they wanted to have an iconic entry into Wilmington, the place where they choose to live and to do business, and that would reflect their status within the community and also within the U.S. and internationally. So the thought was to build the Hotel DuPont. So construction began in 1911 and completed in early 1913 with an opening on January the 15th. It was 40 degrees, skies were blue. There were 295 people lined up around the corner for the opening. The DuPonts, in their desire to create an iconic hotel for Wilmington, hired the general manager of the Astor Hotel in New York City, an internationally renowned hotel on Times Square that was owned by the Astor family. And they brought the general manager down here, and that general manager assembled a team of world-class hoteliers and restaurant managers and brought them to Wilmington with the opening again on January the 15th, 1913.
So when people came in, they saw all of the craftsmanship. There were dozens of French and Italian artisans, I guess, as it were, because if you look at the ceilings and the way everything's laid out, it's art on the walls without actually being a picture or something. It's craftsmanship.
That's right. Artisans were brought in from all over the world. The hotel was designed in a Italian Renaissance style, so lots of Italian artisans and French as well. So think stone crafters, hand cutting stone on site, woodworkers cutting the wood, carving the wood, the ceilings painted and carved by artisans, and especially in the gold ballroom, where the plaster work the original plaster work remains today. Artisans who worked with plaster and hand carved it and hand painted all of it remaining today and in the condition it was in when the hotel opened in 1913.
So talk to us a little bit about the gold ballroom and the kind of setting it was in the day and continues to be.
Yeah, the gold ballroom was added to the hotel in 1919. There was a lot of demand for events and weddings and dances and cotillions, and so the DuPont family added on to the hotel in 1919 and created the gold ballroom and the Dewberry room above it. And since that time, it has been the host to every major event within Wilmington and within the state of Delaware. Governors, presidents, heads of state, heads of industry, all have hosted events there or been hosted there for events. In addition to that, and I think you mentioned it, is that the hotel, and particularly the Gold Ballroom, has been the heartbeat of this community. Every major event for individuals, from graduations from high schools and proms and weddings and charitable events and board meetings. It was aspirational to be in the Gold Ballroom and to be amongst those who were in the ballroom attending events.
Now, I know there have been a lot of famous people. You mentioned a lot of presidents, but there have been some celebrities that have stayed here. Can you tell us anything about them or who has been here? Or do you have any stories that you'd like to share about them?
Sure. As I mentioned, 7 presidents have been hosted here at the hotel. Those presidents, the first one with President Roosevelt, all the way through President Obama very recently. Maybe 6 months ago, Diane Keaton was here for an event and posted something on Instagram, and the pants that she was wearing, where the photo was posted just behind us here in the lobby, went viral and had tens of thousands of views. Rosalind Russell came into the green room one day. She was performing at the Playhouse, which is a full theater that is just next to us here that the DuPont's built as well. And she walked into the green room to a standing ovation. There have been many, many celebrities, heads of state, as I mentioned, as well as icons of business from 1913 all the way through to today.
It's really a memorable place to visit, if not to stay. So talk about, the guest experience here.
The Hotel DuPont has always been known for its attention to detail and its level of service. From the very beginning, as I mentioned, with a world-class hotelier coming from New York City in the Astor Hotel to open the Hotel DuPont, the stage was set for a style of service that is continuing to be delivered today. It's about attention to detail. It's about delivering what each guest wants in a highly customized way for every stay that they're here, whether that be for a wedding or for a business event or simply for a getaway to Wilmington.
Now that attention to detail extends into the green room, and we're going to talk more about the green room when we return.
Hi, I'm Ken Darsney from the Moores Estate, and you're watching the 302.
Welcome back. We are now in the iconic green room. I'm joined again by Joseph Bojanowski, who again is the president of the PM Hotel Group. Now, this dining room, this restaurant is iconic, not just in Delaware, but across the country. Talk to me a little bit about why there's so much history associated with this wood-paneled room.
Sure. This room was originally built in 1913. It was crafted by artisans that were brought by the DuPont family from all around the world, experts in wood carving and in painting and in plaster work. And this is the result of that work, and it's held up for over 117 years. The room first opened as the main dining room for the Hotel DuPont. That was its official name for about 24 years until it converted to the green room. Over the course of this 114 years, there have been 7 presidents. Every president from Roosevelt through President Obama has dined in this room. There have been countless anniversaries and parties and birthday celebrations here, as well as engagements. It's sort of a heartbeat of this community, has been for a very long time.
Now, in doing the research, one restaurant critic said it was a great place to spend a lot of money and be seen doing it. That it was glamorous, that the food was, above anything that you would find anywhere, in the area. And the paneling, and as you mentioned, the interior design is just really gorgeous and has a lot of detail. Can you talk to us a little bit about, the paneling and the things that really make this room gorgeous?
Sure. I'll start with saying, to your point, that this has been an iconic room and everyone wanted to come here and see and be seen. And behind us in the corner was the table that Pierre DuPont had reserved for himself all the time. He would come in, he would sit in the corner, he would be able to see everyone in the dining room, and everyone in the dining room would be able to see him. The DuPont Corporation was a multinational company headquartered here in Delaware. Prominent businessmen were here regularly. It was a center of commerce not only for Wilmington, but for a large part of the country and international travelers as well. This paneling was handcrafted on site, as I mentioned earlier, by artisans who were brought in from around the world. The panel was cut and carved here on site. It was a laborious task that went over the course of probably a year. Each one hand fitted, each one carefully placed, and has been restored painstakingly through the years. Originally from the 1930 period into the 1940s, there used to be craftsmen that came in from Europe to perform the restorations which occur regularly. Those craftsmen have since sort of passed along, and there haven't been any to replace them. So we now have craftsmen and artisans within the U.S. who perform this work for us. And you can see up in the ceiling with the plaster work, and in between us and the ceiling and on the wall are sconces that were purchased in Spain about 100 years ago and brought in. Each of these sconces is handcrafted, and the chandeliers weigh about 2,500 pounds each, and were handcrafted in Spain and brought in specifically for use in the green room.
They're absolutely beautiful. Can you talk to me a little bit about the menu leading up to this point and why it was chosen?
Yeah, I think we assumed stewardship of the green room and the Hotel DuPont in April of 2017. We have been, over that period of time, evaluating the menu and guest dining expectations and taste as time has evolved. This iteration of the green room is from 2004. This concept and which mainly drives the menu. It was designed to serve the guest of Wilmington and the guest of the hotel. It's a little more formal in style. It's a little more formal in terms of the way the food is prepared and plated. And as time has changed, 16 years is a very good run for a restaurant and for a particular concept. But as we enter a new decade, we're going to reinvent the green room and meet the needs and expectations of today's diners, which are a little more around a less formal dining experience, but with highly informed and professional service and a fresher approach to food.
All right, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this reimagining. Stay with us.
I'm Pam Minacchio from the Grand Opera House, and we're setting the stage with the 302.
Welcome back. I'm joined again by Joseph Bojanowski, and we're talking a little bit about the green room and the reimagination of this iconic restaurant in Wilmington. So a lot of folks a little nervous about there being a change to this beloved icon. So talk to us a little bit about why you decided to freshen things up a bit.
As I mentioned, the restaurant concept has been in place since 2004. It's been very durable, but customers' preferences have changed over that period of time, and the customers are telling us they want something a little bit different in terms of the type of cuisine, the type of style, and maybe a refresh of the design of the room itself, and I'm speaking specifically about interior design. So think that all of these iconic elements of the room that are architectural and historic will remain in place, from this wall paneling to the sconces and to the coffered ceilings and all the beauty that has been in place for over 117 years, with a refresh through interior design. So new carpeting, new furniture, slightly different colors. And I think another component of it that will significantly change the way that the dining room interacts with the guest and with sort of the taking the theme of the green room and the hotel being the front door to Wilmington, the dining room at this time does not have an exterior entry. During that refresh and reinvention of it. We'll be opening up the exterior doors, and we'll be putting a cafe on the side of the hotel overlooking Rodney Square, which is in the process of being renovated itself right now and reimagined. So outdoor dining, lots of activities, separate entry into the green room. It'll have a bar component within the green room, which it doesn't have now, and a fresh new take on cuisine, and with a focus on today's diners, and while honoring the legacy of the green room, which is iconic, and we have a responsibility to the community and to this grand hotel and to the green room to continue with that legacy.
It sounds like there are going to be so many changes, but yet while still maintaining, this will still be a place where, you know, it's a very special occasion, or you have a very important business meeting that you'll come, but there'll be other offerings for maybe a little more casual, like maybe the outside would be more casual?
Yes. So it will remain a place for special events. So think celebratory events. Wilmington is known for its chancery court, so think attorneys in here celebrating a victory in a case, or anniversaries, and all the events that we cater to now, teas in the afternoons, things like that. But more approachable, and specifically via the outdoor dining, but a bar in here which brings some casualness to it, and a more approachable element, so that it is not solely a special event place, which it has somewhat evolved to in the last decade or so.
So when you're thinking about just the interior design aspect of things, how do you go about it? Where are you going to draw your inspiration? I know we're dealing with French and Italian designs. Are you looking in the same areas, or what's the process going to be?
The interior design process is driven by the concept. We will very shortly be announcing what that concept is. We have partnered with a chef that is well known in this area and will be familiar to quite a few people in the community. And that concept is what will be driving the design. So it'll design the size of the tabletops, the type of plates, the type of service, and all those elements, as well as the beverage. And there'll be a significantly enhanced beverage program, thinking wine, but also cocktails, infused cocktails, mixology, that component.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we're talking about the green room going through its reimagining, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to say, I really am going to miss not being able to go over and sit there and have a nice meal. But you have an alternative for people, right? Whenever construction's going on, there'll be a pop-up?
Yeah, we do. And I think I should also mention that over the last 2 years, as we've been considering where the opportunities lie to improve service and amenities within the hotel, we formed an advisory board that is composed of community members from Wilmington, and we've heard very loudly and clearly from them as the voice of the community what it would be an acceptable type of change and what would not, and what they love and what they want to have remaining in here, and what isn't resonating with guests today. And I think, again, what resonates with everyone is all of the historical elements of this room. So it won't look significantly different. It will still be recognizable as the green room, a place where people have come over the years to celebrate and see and be seen. But it'll be a refreshed version of that.
Excellent. So as far as the pop-up goes, can you talk to us a little bit? You have a special menu for people that while they're waiting to be surprised with the fresh?
Yes. We're very fortunate here in the hotel to have a couple of other very historic rooms, and just across the corridor from the green room is the brandy wine room. It did serve as a restaurant for the hotel for about 40 years. It also has historical relevance and the same type of paneled walls, and it was originally a sitting room and library for the hotel, where guests of the hotel would go to read or have one-on-one meetings and private conferences. So it's a beautiful room. It's got its own kitchen, and we'll be serving the needs of the community as well as the hotel guest in the brandy wine room during the, say, 90 to 120 days that the green room is going to undergo its refresh.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Bojanowski, for joining us. And please keep us updated on as you start to release things, and we'll let viewers of the 302 know.
We will, and thank you, and we can't wait to give you further announcements on the concept and the chef.
Fantastic. We'll be right back. That'll do it for this episode of the 302. For more information on what's going to be happening with the Green Room, you can check out our Facebook page, the 302 on MeTV2. We leave you now with some historic pictures of the DuPont Hotel. Until next time, I'm Jackie Ferris. We'll see you on the 302.